The Mini 4K is now officially the most affordable DJI prosumer drone. It was released in April 2024, about 4 months ago. But it was initially only sold through Amazon in the United States and Europe, which is rather unusual. So some users argued that it could not be considered an official DJI product. A few days ago, DJI added this model to its online store, making the Mini 4K a fully official model. There have been different variations of the entry model of the DJI line. This can cause some confusion, so let's do a quick recap. The first DJI model under 250 grams was released in October 2019 under the name Mavic Mini. Maintaining the weight below the critical threshold of 250 grams was not an easy task. So this model had only very basic features, with a sensor size of 1/2.3 inches, a video resolution of 2.7K, a bit rate of 40 Mbps, and a photo resolution of 12 megapixels. In November 2020, DJI released the Mini 2, a much improved version with a video resolution of 4K at 30 frames per second and a bit rate of 100 Mbps, a new image processor, and a new transmission system, OcuSync 2, replacing the Wi-Fi based one of the previous model for a much powerful signal. In February 2023, DJI released the Mini 2 SE, a downgraded version of the Mini 2 proposed at a more affordable price, with a video resolution limited to 2.7K and a bitrate of 40 Mbps. Finally, in April 2024, the Mini 4K was released. All these models have a very similar body design and the same sensor size, which is surprising, as 5 years is a very long time for drone technology. The Mini 4K is a rebranded version of the Mini 2, proposed at a much lower price. The camera is identical, with the same video and photo specs. The only small difference are the lack of an LED that was present in the Mini 2 and the CO label in the new model. Now that it has been added to the DJI store, the Mini 4K is the official entry model of DJI prosumer line. The Mini 2 SE is still available at the moment, but is offered only with the Fly More combo, while the standalone version is out of stock. I believe this model will be discontinued once the stocks are depleted. I would not suggest purchasing the Mini 2 SE despite the small difference in price, as it doesn't offer 4K video, which is an absolute must these days. As mentioned earlier, the sensor size is 1/2.3 inches, which is very small for today's standards. The exposure is fixed at f2.8 and the resolution is 4K for video and 12 megapixels for photos. The Mini 4K should not be considered a toy. It has an excellent image processor, which at the time was a big improvement compared to the first Mavic Mini. It is capable of producing more than decent footage and photos in friendly light conditions, as long as we avoid shooting in the direction of the sun and in low light. But this has to be expected given the size of the sensor and the old technology of the lens. As we can see from this example, the detail is more than acceptable and can almost compete with the Mini 3 Pro. A traditional weak point of models from a few years ago is the rendition of fine detail in vegetation and architectural features. The Mini 4K handles it surprisingly well. Unlike the 3 and 3 Pro, the Mini 4K has only one color profile, the 8-bit normal mode, which can be used without any editing, although a touch of extra contrast and saturation is beneficial. The rendition of color is quite nice, a good starting point for someone approaching drone video for the first time. The same applies to photos, with a decent contrast and color rendition in RAW format. Things change radically when shooting anywhere in the direction of the sun. The dynamic range is very limited, in other words, the highlights tend to be overexposed, while the shadows are very dark. This model is practically unusable for video and photos in low light condition, as the tiny sensor cannot gather enough light. This is another area where drone technology has massively improved in recent years. The more expensive DJI lightweight models yield astonishing results in night footage and photos thanks to the improvement in the processor and the wide aperture of the lens. The Mini 4K is based on a 4-year-old design. Every gram had to be shaved to remain below the threshold of 250 grams, so this model offers only the most basic functionalities. Obstacle avoidance sensors, a crucial safety feature, are absent. Intelligent flight modes like active track, spotlight and point of interest are also unavailable. Tracking moving target is a very sought after feature, but it is not supplied with the Mini 4K. The only intelligent feature for video is quick shots, a series of automated predefined moves: drone, rocket, circle, helix and boomerang. The only functionalities available for still images are automatic exposure bracketing and panorama. The frame rates available are up to 30 frames per second at 4K and 60 frames per second at 2.7K. Therefore, the slow motion capabilities are minimal. A zoom of up to 4 times is available at 4K, but being a digital one, there is a resolution loss. Zooming up to 2 times is acceptable if shooting has a resolution of 4K and encoding at 1080p. When using a 4-time zoom, the loss of resolution is too strong for filming, but this zoom level is useful for inspection purposes. The announced battery life is 31 minutes, a more than decent performance. The transmission system is OcuSync 2.0 for a reliable signal, even in urban areas with interferences. This is an improvement compared to the Wi-Fi system of the original Mavic Mini. The design of the 3-axis gimbals shows its age. The upward tilt of the camera is quite limited, and it cannot rotate for vertical video and photos, an important feature for users active on social media platforms. Like most DJI models designed more than a couple of years ago, the camera has a very annoying jump when the aircraft comes to a halt after a move. This issue has been solved with a redesign of the gimbal for the Mini 3 Pro. The wind resistance of the Mini 4K is level 5, equivalent to 21 mph or 38 km/h. It is quite good considering the size, although the Mini 3 and 4 have better aerodynamics, thanks to the new design of the area around the gimbal. The Mini 4K is sold with a RCN1C remote controller, practically identical to the RCN1 of the Mini 3, offering a nice clamp to solidly place the remote device and a good grip. The use of a smartphone or tablet is required with this controller. The Mini 4 Pro is the model for budget-conscious users looking for a first experience with drone videography and photography. The difference in price versus the Mini 3 Pro is important. The image quality in easy light condition is a decent starting point for beginners, as long as they avoid shooting against the sun and in low light. Even though the features offered are minimal, this model is reliable and fun to use. Users who get seriously involved with this hobby will want to upgrade to more powerful models, but the good news is that the Mini 4K is easy to resell on the second-hand market. I often see videos suggesting the Mini 4K as a second drone for urban shooting or for traveling, for serious users who already own a bigger model. I do not fully agree, as the quality of footage and photo will be very different between the two drones, making it hard to integrate them into the same project, especially if low light or scenes against the sun are involved. The Mini 4 Pro can be purchased with a combo that includes a bag, 2 extra batteries and a charging hub. Extra batteries are handy for an extended flying experience, but the price is slightly more expensive than the Mini 3, the non-Pro version, a much superior drone. You can check the updated price of the different configurations in the description of this video. It is an affiliate link, so I get a small commission in case of purchase. Click on this link to watch my comparison of the Mini 3 Pro versus the Mini 2, which has the same footage quality as the Mini 4K. And don't forget to hit the like button if you find this video interesting. Thank you.